All right, thanks, Aaron. A Rochester man is likely spending the rest of his life behind bars after he was convicted of killing a pregnant woman and her young daughter. KIMT News 3's Anthony Monzon was at Renard Carter's sentencing earlier today. Anthony, what can you tell us about what happened in the courtroom?
Well, Amy, throughout this hearing, it was evident the family of Kiana Foote and Miana Miller are still struggling to cope with the loss that they've experienced for more than a year now, and struggling to understand just how someone could choke a pregnant woman and her 2-year-old daughter. But by the end of the afternoon, they saw the man responsible for both of those murders, 30-year-old Renard Carter, receive a 1,078-month sentence after pleading guilty to 3 counts of second-degree murder. 2/3 of that time will be spent in prison, and the final third will be under supervised release, a benefit all Minnesotans are granted unless formally sentenced to life in prison. Now, during this hearing, many family members of Foote and Miller urged the judge to give Carter the maximum allowable sentence under law. That wasn't the case under the plea deal Carter accepted. However, following today's sentencing, I spoke with Eric Woodford, the chief deputy of the Olmsted County Attorney's Office, who served as lead prosecutor in this case. Woodford says the plea deal Carter took essentially amounts to a life sentence and doesn't force the family to go through the pain of a jury trial.
To hear about the way that their family members were treated and the way their lives were taken is very traumatic for families. And so if we could achieve a plea agreement that would achieve both of those goals, a very long sentence that would effectively be a life sentence, as well as preventing them from having to go through trial, that was the goal. And we feel good about the fact that each of those goals were achieved.
And at the end of this hearing, Carter became very defiant. He again apologized for the family for, quote, forcing Miller and Foote to kill themselves, which then saw Miller's father attempt to rush the stand before being stopped by Olmsted County Sheriff's deputies. By the end of this sentencing hearing, family members were applauding as Carter was walked out of the room, and he was all smiles, clapping, and also, again, cheering on as he was walked out of this courtroom for this, once again, what amounts to essentially a life sentence, or at least prison time, until he's just under 90 years old. Live in Rochester, Anthony Monzon, KIMT News 3.
All right, thank you so much, Anthony. We be sure to continue watching KIMT News 3 and Anthony's updates on air and online as we follow this case.